So do you also want to auto-summarize the deposition notes? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to build an AI agent to auto-summarize Google Drive deposition notes. So like you, I also used to manually summarize this deposition notes, but this is such a time-consuming and an error-prone task. So to solve this problem, I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as I add my notes into this Google Drive, automatically my AI agent is going to summarize and extract the details from these notes and add them into a spreadsheet. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Drive, my AI agent, which is OpenAI, and then Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen. So in this video, I'll show you how to build an AI agent that automatically summarizes the deposition notes stored in your Google Drive account. And further, whether you're working with the legal teams or managing case documents, this automation extracts the key points and generates a concise summary and add that summary into your spreadsheet. It's a game changer for law firms or legal researchers. So let's dive in and streamline your legal documentation with the help of an AI agent and Pabbly Connect. So to do this, we are simply going to open a new tab, and we're just going to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in our browser. And now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, and over here we're going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here I'm an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in. And once we're going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And once we're going to click on this access now, it is opening my dashboard, and to get started we are simply going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automation, and on my dashboard you can see multiple folders which I have already created in which I save my workflows. And if you also want to create a new folder, you can go towards this create new folder button. You can enter the folder name and select the folder to create your own. Over here I've already created one, so I'm simply going to select the same folder which is automations. And now it is asking me for the workflow name, so I'm simply going to enter my name of the workflow as AI agent to auto summarize Google Drive deposition notes. And then we are simply going to click on this button right over here which says create. And once we're going to click on this create, it is going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by a trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger with multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, we are simply going to select a trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Drive right over here. So I'm just going to search for Google Drive and select it right over here. And now for the trigger event, I'm simply going to select it as new file in a specific folder and click on this button which says connect. And once we're going to click on this connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Drive account with your Pabbly Connects workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And now once we're going to click on this blue button, Pabbly is asking me to select my Gmail account, with the help of which I'm just going to connect my Google Drive. So once I'm just going to select my Gmail account, Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So what we're going to do is I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. And once we're going to click on this allow, with this we have successfully connected our Google Drive account with our Pabbly Connects workflow. And now it is asking me to select the folder or the subfolder. So as you can see, the name of my folder is deposition notes. So I'm just going to simply select the folder right over here which is deposition notes. So over here you have to keep in mind that the folder which you're selecting should be a shareable one. So what do I mean by shareable one? So I'm just going to open my Google Drive account. We're just going to go towards the folder name and then towards this share and once again towards this share. And over here in the share, the general access should be anyone with the link and and editor. It is really important that you keep the general access as anyone with the link and editor. Otherwise, your AI agent will not be able to read the document. So once you make this folder a shareable one, you can simply go towards your workflow and select the same. And after selecting the folder, I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request. But before clicking on the save and send test request, I'll just let you know that Google Drive is a pooling based application. So pooling based application means that this application will not check for new data instantly. It is going to take some amount of time to check for the new data. And over here in the case of Google Drive, it is saying that the trigger will check for new data in 10 minutes. So once I'm just going to click on the save and send test request, Pabbly is going to capture the last response or the latest response made in my Google Drive account. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to open my Google Drive account, and first we're going to do the test submission, and then I'm just going to click on the save and send test request. So I'm simply going to upload this deposition transcript right over here, and now I'm just going to go back towards my workflow and click on the save and send test request so that Pabbly can capture the response for the same. And over here you can see that Pabbly Connect has captured the response for the same deposition transcript which we entered in our Google Drive account. So yes, you can see with this we have successfully completed our trigger application, and now what is going to happen is that whenever we upload a new file in this specific folder, automatically this workflow is going to get triggered in 10 minutes. So if you want to increase or decrease this time, you can go towards this three dots, set trigger time, and increase or decrease the time right from here. I'm just going to keep it as 10 minutes only, and now we're going to move on further towards our action step. Now what I want is I want to use an AI agent to auto summarize Google Drive deposition notes. So I'm simply going to select my action application as my AI agent, which is OpenAI. So I'm just going to look for OpenAI and select it right over here. And now for the action event, we are simply going to select it as extract content from PDF/image. And now we are simply going to click on this button which says connect. And once we're going to click on this connect, it is asking me to add a new connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this, select existing connection, and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to enter the token right over here. So how are we going to enter this token? So it is saying to get this token, kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key which you need to enter here. So I'm simply going to go towards my OpenAI API key page to get the API key. And after coming over here towards this page, we are simply going to go towards this green button which says create new secret key. And now it is asking me for the name of the key. So I'm simply going to enter the key name. And now it is asking me to select the project. So I'm simply going to select the project too. And after doing this, I'm simply going to click on the green button which says create secret key. And now my key has been created. So I'm simply going to copy this key, and then we're going to paste this key right over here in our workflow. And once after pasting this key, I'm simply going to click on this button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it's asking me to select the OpenAI model. So I'm simply going to select it as GPT-4o Mini right over here. You can select any another of your choice. And now it is asking me to enter the PDF URL. So I'm simply going to enter my PDF URL right over here. But we are not going to enter the PDF URL manually by typing or copy pasting it, but instead we're going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Drive as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So I'm simply going to map my PDF URL right over here and move on further. Now it is asking me for the prompt. So I'm simply going to enter the prompt right over here, which is extract the details from the given document. So over here, I'm just going to extract the details with the help of structured output, but this prompt is a required field. So I'm simply going to enter a one-line prompt right over here, which is extract the details from the given document. And after entering this prompt, we are going to move on further. Now, after entering this prompt, we're going to move on further towards the structured output. And now I'm just going to enter the structured output JSON object right over here. But in order to generate the JSON object or the JSON schema, we don't require any programming or coding language. We simply have to follow this important node. It is saying to generate the structured output JSON, navigate to this URL. So I'm simply going to open this URL right over here. And once we're going to open this URL right over here, we have to simply click on this button which says generate. And I'm just going to give this a prompt to generate me the JSON schema. And how we're going to give this prompt? For that, I'm just going to open my notepad. So these are all the details which I want to extract. So one by one, I'm just going to enter the details right over here in my notepad. Alright, so you can see the first thing which I want to extract is the case title. So I'm simply going to enter it right over here, which is the case title. And now I'm just going to move on to the another line. And what is the format of this case title? It is type of a short text. So I'm just going to enter type of a short text right over here. And then we're going to move on further. In the next line, I'm just going to give the description for this. So this is the description, which is extract and provide me the full title of the case mentioned in the deposition transcript. And I'm just going to move on forward, and then I'm just going to do the same for all the details right over here. I'm just going to enter the deponent name right over here, and then I'm just going to do this same for all of the details. And as you can see that I've simply did this for all of the details, and I'm just going to copy this prompt right from here, and then we're simply going to paste this prompt right over here. And after pasting this prompt, I'm simply going to click on this button which says create. And once we're going to click on this create, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the structured output, which is the JSON schema, without knowing any line of programming or coding language. And as you can see, the JSON schema has been generated. So I'm simply going to copy this JSON schema, and then we're going to paste it right over here in our workflow. And after pasting this, we are simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send as request. And once we're going to click on the save and send as request, now my AI agent is going to extract these details from my document and give it to me right over here as my response. And further, we're going to add that details into our spreadsheet one by one. So first, we're just going to wait for a few seconds till my AI agent is extracting and giving me the details. And as you can see that my AI agent has successfully extracted and given me the details. So now I'm just going to add these details into my spreadsheet. For that, I'm just going to add another action step. And now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for Google Sheets and select it. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as add a new row and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Sheets account with the Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this button which says select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me and click on add a new connection. And now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And once we going to click on this sign in with Google, automatically Pabbly is asking me to select my Gmail account. So I'm simply going to select my Gmail account. Once again, Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. And with this, we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. Now it's asking me to select the spreadsheet. So I'm simply going to select my spreadsheet right over here, which is deposition summary. And then we have to select the sheet 2, which is sheet 1 right over here. And then we're going to move on forward, and I'm just going to map all of these details right over here one by one. Alright, so I'm simply going to map all of these details one by one. We are just going to start with the case title. I'm just going to map it, then I'm just going to map the rest of the details one by one. So like I'm doing, you also have to map these details one by one, and further these details will be added into our spreadsheet. Alright, so as you can see that now I'm just going to map this key testimony summary, and we're going to move on forward, and I'm just going to map this witness signature. And after mapping all of these details, I'm simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send as request. And now with this, we have received the positive response that we have successfully added these details into our Google Sheets. So I'm just going to open my Google Sheets, and as you can see, the details have been added right over here. So yes, with this, we have successfully completed our workflow. And now whenever I'm just going to add a new file in this specific folder, within 10 minutes, the workflow is going to get triggered. Pabbly is going to capture the response for the same, extract the content from that PDF, which is the deposition transcript, summarize it and add it into our Google Sheets. We don't have to do anything. We just have to sit back and relax. So yes, now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering free 100 tasks of Pabbly Connect. And now while trying, if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.